30 books to change your life in 2024. Whether you're looking for books to connect with your spirituality, increase your performance, level up your financial life, just become smarter, achieve all the goals that you want to set for yourself in life, or maybe even get rid of something like binge eating, one book is all it takes to change your life. And today we're going to be talking about the best books of all time for that. Starting off with Louise Hay, Heal Your Life. This is the first book I ever read and it changed my life. It was the first time I realized, oh my God, my thoughts create my reality. And I can actually set a goal, and if I start believing that I have already achieved it, it somehow becomes my reality. That's wild. These pages are completely torn apart. It's been very much used. I have the newer version of it as well. It's in Danish though, but this specific book also shares how every single illness comes from a certain emotion. So I read that book when I was 18 years old.
If you're a beginner, I believe that this is the perfect self-development book to start off with, because it teaches us how loving ourselves is the most powerful thing that we can do to live a happy life. And also just the importance of being mindful of the words that we tell ourselves, because our thoughts create our lives. So many of us, including myself at the time, tend to think a lot of negative things about ourselves, and if we change that, so does our life.
And then I took a complete break for a few years where I did not read any other self-development books because I thought I was healed. I then come to LA, I read The School of Greatness, which was my second self-development book ever read. And once again, my life changes. That book dives into the mentality of the highest achievers in the world as to how they set goals, how they commit and take the action steps required for them to achieve the things that they want in life. And when I read that book, I set myself some goals and they all came true. And it was just mind-blowing. And that led me to read another self-development book. I've always been an atheist. Like, I did not believe in anything when I was a kid. I was like, people who believe in something bigger than like what is on planet Earth are crazy. I read The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein, and I became, well, spiritual and started believing that everything on Earth has a frequency, and what we believe, what energy we put out comes back to us. And I don't need anyone to believe that, but it has helped me a lot on my journey. And if you're someone who wants to connect with a higher something in the world, I highly recommend that book. Some other spiritual books that can help you with this is Manifest by Roxy Nafousi. I think that's how you say her name.
I found this book so useful because it breaks down how to actually manifest what you want into 7 actionable steps. And if you want to get even more woo-woo with me,
there's Trust Your Vibes and Ask Your Guides, which is a lot about connecting to your angels and spirit guides, if that's something you're into. It can really help if you're in a low point. It really can. Becoming Supernatural.
Remember, if you're going to create the unlimited, you have to feel unlimited. If you're going to heal in a magnificent way, you have to feel magnificent.
And what I know for sure. Now, talking about makeup, the founder of IT Cosmetics, Jamie Kern-Lina, wrote a book called Believe It. If you're someone who has a dream, a business you want to get started, just any goal that you want to put out into the world, create into your reality existence, and you feel like you're getting so much resistance, nobody believes in you, but you have this vision in your mind, you feel in your gut, in your intuition, that this is something that you need to do, you got to read this book, because it is going to fire up your butt and make you believe that all this resistance that you're receiving in this very moment, it's all there to help build you, make you stronger, to someday bringing it into your existence, into the world. I think she built this makeup company. I'm putting on makeup so that it's like relevant, you know? And nobody wanted to invest in her or believe in her vision, but she saw it. She used these real life models that did not look like regular models because she wanted to create a makeup brand that was for normal people, people who did not fit in maybe necessarily. And when I was doubting myself in like everything I've built in my career, when I went back to that book and understood that she also went through challenges, it made me feel like I wasn't alone and that I just had to keep pushing, and it didn't matter that other people maybe couldn't see my vision, but if I did and I kept working for it, fighting for it, then eventually it would come true. The alter ego effect has actually changed my life. When I wanted to become a dancer, I had this thing of like not feeling confident whenever I was in the classroom and I had to perform in front of the other dancers. I would be so nervous. All these limiting beliefs would just like cripple in. And then I read The Alter Ego Effect and I realized, oh my gosh, you can put on different version of yourself. This really powerful confident, intelligent person that can do anything in the world, and step into those shoes and forget about all these insecurities. Forget about the things that you previously had thought you weren't capable of doing. You know how Beyonce has Sasha Fierce so that when she steps on stage, she's like this alter ego version of herself? And the same goes with all these different athletes, that when they step onto the field, they embody this really powerful version of themselves, step into this higher, more limitless version of themselves, like Spider-Man. So if you're feeling a little bit insecure, or like you wish you were more of something that could get you to that next level of your life that you want to get to, then highly recommend The Alter Ego. I've reread it so many times and it is so freaking good. Obviously, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Whenever I've wanted to get a badass workout in and I've not really felt like it, it makes you feel unstoppable. Like, just put in some David Goggins in your headphones. You're gonna kill this workout more than you ever thought you could kill anything. If you're a people pleaser, or someone who feels like you always have to act in a certain way in order for you to be loved, accepted enough for other people around you, that's something that I had a lot growing up. And Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis made me realize how I often would hold myself back from being my authentic self because I was trying to fit into this box that I thought I needed to fit into to be good enough as a human. So highly recommend those two. Some other incredible self-development books: Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden. I saw him speak live at the Summit of Greatness last year. It was wild. Like, his mindset is wild. So highly recommend. Be Your Future Self Now, all about believing that you are your future self, because it just naturally will make you take the action steps, have the thoughts of your future self here and now. 10x is easier than 2x. The Power of Intention, Peak Performance, and The Gap versus the Gain. As in, be happy now. Don't wait for the future to be happy. You have everything you need right now. If you're someone who has had issues binge eating or just any sort of eating disorder, I've mentioned this before, but Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating is just something I highly recommend to anyone who's been dealing with that, because it breaks down what's actually going on and it gives you practical tools, steps that you can use to get out of it. Of course, if you've had an eating disorder, you should seek professional guidance. But that book, I think, could be an incredible addition. At least it has been for me, as someone who has been dealing with emotional eating. We like to move away from our emotions by eating because that feels good in the moment. But then once we've done eating it, the emotions just come right back in. Also, if you at some point are like, I just want to listen to a good podcast, these are my favorites. We're popping them up on the screen. Highly recommend. They fuel me with good excitement for the week. Money Mindset. Think and Grow Rich. I mean, the title says it itself. Thinking that you're rich and then growing yourself rich. But basically practical tools as to setting very clear goals and then a very clear action plan towards achieving it, but also believing that you have the money already so that you actually bring that in with your vibrations, your frequency. And then there's also Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Get Rich Lucky Bitch if you're a female who's like, let me get rich. If you're a creative, I highly recommend The Artist Way. It gives you different tools, like going on creative dates by yourself and also writing morning pages, which is literally just when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you grab your journal and you just write. You flow write whatever comes to your mind. It's an incredible way to practice creativity and just bring all the thoughts, the rambling that you have in your mind onto a piece of paper to find clarity and peace and calmness for your life. The 4-Hour Work Week, if you've never read that, it's a must read. The Practice by Seth Godin has helped me a lot if I've been lacking creativity, and helped me think in different new ways about the creative work that I'm doing. The Compound Effect, Start With Why by Simon Sinek, and The Magic of Thinking Big. And I know it is so hard to pick up that book and sit your butt down and read it, but you will not regret it. So I hope something I shared today has sparked your interest, your intrigue to go read it. Take the tools and apply them to your life so that you can become the person you deep down want to be, because you're capable and you're worthy.
And well, in the case that you've been following along on my 30-day YouTube video series, every single day I'm giving away a program for free, and today's winner is right here. And well, if you want to win one of my programs, all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I found it, but look, it's so torn apart. This is the first book I ever read.